SA trigger warning. And I'm going to use all the words, so scroll if you don't want to hear it. The two moms that were sexually assaulted in the Bahamas. Brief overview. Two lifelong friends save up for a cruise. Just having a mom trip to get away from the kids. One of the stops is in the Bahamas. They get these drinks from the bartender. They say they start feeling the drinks and they have to get out of the water. They're looking for seashells for their kids. Resort staff approach them and tell them where they can find some shells. Surveillance video shows them barely able to walk. They say they're led away and essayed in a bathroom. Carnival has since come out and empathetically said, well, they weren't on a carnival excursion, even though that place is on their site. And the resort has said the timeline doesn't add up. This is where this video gets a little risky, but I'm going to lean into it. One thing you will take away from a career in police work is there's always more to the story. I'm hard-pressed to not believe a victim. Like the case cannot look good on its face, but the more you look into it, the more you discover. They are found on the bathroom floor by a nurse practitioner. This is what she has to say.
Very credible. Don Gala, I didn't speak to her as much. She was in way worse shape, and she was kind of in the floor, and Amber was straight across from her in the floor, too. And like I said, I spoke more to Amber because I was trying to get her to focus in. I was trying to get as much details as I could get from her because I knew she wasn't going to be able to remember a whole lot. She was in such a bad state, and she kept repeating herself. I'd ask her one question, she'd repeat another question to me. It was bad. I'm traumatized from it, and I deal with things like this. So, yeah, it was real bad for both of the girls.
The two women's toxicology comes back. It shows benzos, cocaine, and a cocktail of other drugs, but not a lot of alcohol. Benzos are a date rape drug. So are GHB, Ambien, fentanyl. You've just been drugged on benzos. Now the police are asking you for a report and an accurate timeline. When you look at police statements, you got to look at what the department is saying and what they're not saying. The Bahamas has a financial interest in disparaging this story. And they don't outright say this didn't happen. They just said the timeline's messed up. The women said they wake up in a room surrounded by staff and throwing up. Medical personnel says it's a good thing they're throwing up because they had enough drugs to kill them. After a sexual assault, the one thing you want to do is the one thing you can't do. Wash. The victims said they woke up and they felt dirty. From the very limited interviews I've seen with these two ladies, I can tell you from their body language, they believe what they're saying. The Daily Mail article covers a few more details that are left out of most media, like these details, which are pretty important to the story. Here's more from that article. I suggest reading it. From working sexual assault cases. When they are giving their testimony to you, you get the gambit of emotions. Some are hysterical. Some are angry. Some are still in shock and just recounting it fact by fact. So you can't completely rely on how somebody tells that story. Now, it's reported a lot that they refused rape kits. There's a caveat to that. They were told they had to go to the hospital, have them done. They don't have their passports, and the Bahamas would not help them get back to the U.S. So if they miss that boat, they're stuck. Odd that's not being reported. Bahamas police said they took rape kits on the boat for the boat staff to perform the collection of evidence. Supposedly they refused that too. You've been drugged. You've been horrifically traumatized. Would you like to be exposed to more trauma by strangers after you probably already destroyed evidence? I'm not making a judgment either way on this case, but when large companies immediately go into damage control and start making CYA statements, it's worth taking a little closer look. I'm still not making a call on this case. There's just more facts in what they're saying. Be aware and be safe.